I bought a property in Valentine, and what they do for you is they give you the property.
Shut up, Arthur. Check this out. Skibbity Riz!
We all love the character of John Marston. He has an interesting characteristics, an interesting backstory that starts in Red Dead Redemption 2, and just in general keeps the player wanting to know more about him and his life. I'm sure many people think that there is no real-life gunslinger John Marston, or is there? Well, if you guys watch long enough through the video, you'll get your answer. Now let's go back to the 1800s, which was the golden age of the American Wild West. Starting off with Hardin John Wesley, born on May 26, 1853, Bonham, Texas. Son to James G. and Elizabeth Hardin. His father was a Methodist preacher, circuit writer, school teacher, and lawyer. Hardin's first violent act in his career started in 1867 when he was at a schoolyard which he decided to stab another youth. He then went on to shoot a man in Polk County due to an argument. Hardin was on the run, and the Reconstruction government was actively looking for him. For context, the Reconstruction government was the federal and state-level political system in the U.S. South between 1865 and 1877. Their goal was to rebuild the nation, bringing Confederate states together and securing rights for newly freed Black Americans at the time. Hardin went to his brother's house, which was located 25 miles north of Sumter, Texas. In 1868, he claimed that he took the lives of 3 Union soldiers who were trying to arrest him. In the same year, he killed another Union soldier at Richard Bottom. In 1871, Hardin was officially a cowboy and went up to the Chisholm Trail. He once again took the life of 7 soldiers on his way, and 3 in Abilene, Kansas, after allegedly backing down the city marshal, Wild Bill Hickok. He apparently gave him the name Little Arkansas. Hardin returned to Gonzales Country, Texas, and got into a difficulty with Governor Edmund J. Davis's state police. Luckily, Hardin did settle down long enough to marry Jane Bowen. She gave birth to a boy and 3 girls. John Wesley Hardin added several more men to his death toll before surrendering to the sheriff of Cherokee County in 1872, but he escaped jail a month later, surprisingly. He soon became involved in the Sultan Taylor feud and killed Jack Helm, a former state police captain. In 1871, while driving cattle, Hardin killed Deputy Sheriff Charles Webb in a Comanche, which caused authorities to pursue him across Texas. Hardin fled with his wife and children to Florida and Alabama until the Texas Rangers captured him in Pensacola in 1877. He was convicted of Webb's murder in 1878 and sentenced to 25 years in prison. While imprisoned, he studied theology and law and served as a superintendent of the prison Sunday school. So I guess he does take a bit from his father. Hardin in 1894, Hardin became a lawyer and moved to El Paso, hoping to start a new life. However, after becoming involved in scandals and conflicts, he was shot and killed in the Acme Saloon in 1895 by John Selman. His autobiography was published the following year, and he remains known as one of the most dangerous gunmen in Texas history. Moving on to another historical Wild West figure is Billy the Kid. Moving on to someone more youthful compared to Hardin is Billy the Kid, born on 1859 in New York, November 23rd. His real name, William Henry McCarthy Jr. Not much is known about his early life, but it's speculated that his father passed away or left Billy when he was very young. He became an orphan at 15 when his mother had unfortunately died of tuberculosis, which was the same thing Arthur died to in Red Dead Redemption 2, a little after Billy and his brother got caught stealing one day. According to legend, Billy killed 21 men during his days as an outlaw, one for each year of his life. While on the run, Billy found himself in Arizona before joining up with a gang of gunfighters called to fight in the Lincoln Country War. Billy during this time was known as the Kid. Billy switched to the opposite side of the war to fight with John Tunstall as one of the regulators. It was after this Billy became an outlaw. He stole the horses and cattle and eventually got arrested in 1880 for the killing of Sheriff Brady during the Lincoln County War. He was sentenced to death. He killed the sheriff's 2 guards and successfully escaped his death in 1881. He was once again on the run and hunted down and shot dead by Sheriff Pat Garrett on July 14, 1881 in Fort Sumner, New Mexico. After the death of Billy, Sheriff Garrett wrote a biography of the Billy titled The Authentic Life of Billy the Kid. And after the book was published, he became a legend in the American frontier. And finally, to our final cowboy historical figure from the Wild West, we have Robert Leroy Parker, or Butch Cassidy, who was born in Beaver, Utah on April 13, 1866. Cassidy was the first of 13 children. His parents were Mormon and he came to Utah from England in 1856. His parents moved to Circleville in 1879 and young Robert worked in ranches across the west of Utah, like Hay Springs, near Milford. On one of these early jobs, Roy had his first run-in with the law. He went into a clothes shop, took a pair of jeans, and left a note saying that he would pay the owner of the stores back. In the Parker family, things were going well for Robert's father after he had lost another homesteader and property rights. Roy, acknowledging this, decided to go to a shady local rancher, Mike Cassidy, which really admired him. In 1884, Roy was rustling cattle from Parowan. Robert eventually took on the name Butch Cassidy. Some say it was to show honor or respect to his childhood hero that he looked up to. Butch Cassidy's first major heist was the 1889 robbery of the San Miguel Valley Bank in Telluride, where he and 3 cowboys got away with $20,000 after carefully casing the bank. They retreated to Brown Parks along the Utah-Wyoming border, using it as a base for trips to Green River, Vernal and Lander, Wyoming. Cassidy helped pioneer the Outlaw Trail network of hideouts stretching from Mexico through Utah to Montana. Linking safe havens for outlaws, he became known as the Robin Hood of the West, opposing powerful cattle barons while sympathizing with smaller ranchers. During his time, he established the famous hole-in-the-wall hideout in Wyoming. Over the years, Cassidy assembled the Wild Bunch, including the Sudan's Kid, LZ Lay, and Harry Longabaugh, carrying out well-planned bank and train robberies across Colorado, Wyoming, New Mexico, Utah, South Dakota, and finally, Nevada. Hey everyone, G Newton here. So I actually made a mistake in this part of the video, so I'm just gonna re-correct myself. So first we have the Sudan's Kid, LZ Lay, Butch, Harvey Logan, and Will Culver. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. Sorry for the interruption. His notable and most famous jobs included the Montpelier, Idaho bank robbery in 1896 and the Pleasant Valley Coal Company payroll heist. The gang often used catched horses and clever escape routes to evade law enforcement, including Pinkerton detectives who tracked them relentlessly. By the early 1900s, law enforcement pressure forced Cassidy to flee abroad. He traveled to Europe and South America, where he ran a small ranch in Argentina with the Sudan's kid and his partner at a place. Reports vary, but Cassidy likely died in the year 1937 in Arizona under the name of William Phillips. Cassidy became a symbol of the romanticized Western outlaw, a clever, daring man who targeted the rich and helped the underdog when he could. As he once said, the best way to hurt them is through their pocketbook. I steal their money just to hear them holler. Then I pass it among those who really need it. Hey everyone, if you made it this far to the end of the video, congratulations. Here comes the conclusion. So when we look at outlaws like John Wesley Hardin, Billy the Kid, and even Butch Cassidy, it becomes pretty clear that the world of Red Dead Redemption didn't just come out of the blue. It's clearly told to us in a weird way that Rockstar pulled inspiration from these real legends of the American Wild West. Gunslingers, outlaw gangs, lawmen chasing criminals across the frontier. These were real stories that shaped the history of the West. The characters that we see in Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2, like John Marston and the Vanderlyn gang, are so believable because they're built off of these real people who lived in real life during the 1800s and early 1900s. So even though John Marston isn't a real person, if we look at the kind of life he lived, the gunslingers, the outlaws, the lawmen, and the fading Wild West at the time, it was definitely very real and definitely inspired by real life. Thank you for the video. Thank you for watching. I put my heart, tears into this video. I really feel passionate about this. If you guys like what you see, drop a like and subscribe for more. And have a wonderful day.